early risers. Welcome to yet another episode of the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera. I hope you guys have woken up well and are excited to face your day. Remember, this show brings you inspiration, entertainment, and education to ensure that you guys are also learning every single day. Here we promote also positive vibes, and also remember, you can always tell yourself affirmations. Always share with us also what are you affirming yourself in the morning. Remember, this is how you can be able to become positive-minded when you start your day, right? So anyway, as it is the norm here at the Younib Breakfast Show, let's go straight to the morning bite of the day. Speaking about the impact of low performance in schools on students, and I am joined by a guest. But before I introduce to you the guest of the day, remember this show is proudly brought to you by Miss Yo Ashen and Younib organization. We are trying to reach out to the community and teach you about mental health and everything concerned. So remember, you can always interact with us through our social media platform, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. And if you have any problem when it comes to your psychological needs, your mental health, you can always call 0700 352 250 and our psychologist will help you through. So having that done, I want to introduce to you today our guest. At least today we are having a new face. See later when nashinda nikiwaambia, oh, this is not a new face for you. So today I want to introduce to you the guest. And guys, I hope you will be able to learn a lot from this conversation, right? So hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Younib Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much.
Kindly look at the camera and tell us what you do, who you are. Yeah.
Also, my name is Faith Mitei. I'm a counseling psychologist. I have been practicing for the last, I should say, 10 years now. Yes, and I help people deal with people who have mental health issues, deal with the day-to-day challenges that they face. I usually use the slogan, empowering them to thrive for a better future.
Empowering them to thrive for a better future. Beautiful.
Yes.
Yes. So this, she will be the one who will be telling us more about poor performance. And I know she has a story, which I want us to start with. So why are you so concerned with poor performance when it comes to students?
Oh, yeah. It's a topic that is close to my heart. Because I went through it personally. So as I was growing up, so of course you go to school, you're taken to school, and you're expected to perform well. Yeah. Like growing up, no parent actually takes you to school and they're like, so ata ukianguka tu ni sawa, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I grew up in Kericho, and I went to, I'd say, a very good primary school. But now, the performance bit, it wasn't quite good. So I used to be bottom 10 ever since I joined introductory, because then there was introductory, and then, or those nursery, then introductory, then class 1. I don't know how this days works, but yeah. So I joined introductory, and even in that introductory, I was the last person. So we were like 30 students, I was number 30. From that young age. So I used to struggle with handwriting, I used to struggle with concepts, just kidogo, ABCD, I used to struggle. And I remember even that year when I joined introductory, I was told to repeat because of low performance. So I repeated, I did the whole year. And it's not like my performance actually improved, but I was just told, then go to class 1 the next year now. So after that, class 1, same drill. I was bottom 10. Niki improve sana. Number 7, bottom 10. You know, if we're like 30 students, I would be number maybe 22. Up from number 30. Yeah. So, and that's an improvement for me on that side. So I went on actually being bottom 10. Class 1, class 2, class 3. Class 3 I was told to repeat. So I repeated class 3, and there wasn't much of a difference. I went on class 4, class 5, class 6, just being the last. Always bottom 10. If I improve, kabisa, I'm number 20 out of 30. And it went on like that. I remember when I was about to do my KCP, my parents were advised to take me to a rural school so that I can perform better in that rural school, because there's a norm that people in the rural school don't perform well. So if I go there, I actually become a better number. So it would give me a better chance to go to a nice school in high school. So that's what actually happened. So I was enrolled in a primary school in the rural area, and I was, I think, index number 15, because I was coming from a school from town. So I was given that index number. And we did the exam, KCP. So when KCP came, I remember after that I sat for the exams. I was feeling like it's hard, but hey, anyway, I prayed to God. Help me so that I can be able to perform well. So when the results came, I got 293 out of a possible 500 marks, which was quite something, considering that in the previous years I used to get maybe 292. Oh, sorry, not 292, like 215, 230. So it was
an improvement.
And true to it, in that school, I was the third person. Like, I was number 3 in that 1, 2, 3. I've never been number 3 in my life. So and then I went to high school. And marks yako ndio inakupeleka shule yako. So I went to a school around that area. And I went to high school there, and I wasn't still improving. I was still not performing well. I was struggling with math, I was struggling with chemistry, physics. The only subject that I was doing well was English. And that was the one I was getting B+. But these other ones were just E's, C's, D's, D pluses, C minuses, and what have you. So I went to this school, and that's when I started feeling conscious. Like when I was in primary school, I wasn't even conscious about my performance. I was just, going through life, I remember starting to feel like I am not worthy. I had low self-esteem, because now I'm thinking, what do I have to offer? I've been failing all this time. So, but I still continued Form 1, Form 2, and this school had, now when in high school, had students to repeat if they don't perform well. But for me, I'd gotten to a point that I was feeling like this repeating really is not helping me. And it was starting to give me a lot of stress and pressure. So I used to pray to God that, hey, just help me that these guys will not repeat. They will not tell me to repeat. So I'd go to the next class that year and just pray that week ends. That's the second week ends. And if the second week ends, I won't be told to repeat. But if that week, the first week of, let's say Form 2, the teacher would come, can the following people stand up and go back to the previous class? And I would be always among them. I continued like that, Form 1, Form 2, I remember, and then at some point I wanted to change schools. So my parents allowed me to change schools, but I got an opportunity in another school, but I had to repeat in order to get a chance to that school. That was my way out. So I was like, okay, let me just repeat. That was, I was supposed to go to Form 3. And I did repeat Form 2 in that school. And so this time around, I was like, Nasi, I have done this year. The concepts really must stick. I mean. So I was a little bit relaxed, because even in that school, I knew people. We were within my primary school. So I went into class with that attitude. These concepts, they're not new. I know them. So in that year, shock on me. I was the last one, like the very last one. And in that school, they had a system of calling the number 1 to 10, wanaitwa wanaenda mbele. Number let's say 20 to 30, or because it's a bigger school, maybe number, let's say 200 to 210, mnaitwa pia muonekane that these are the last people, these are the people who are trailing. So I was cold. And nikaenda huko mbele, I was feeling like, oh Jesus, why are they doing this to me? Because in my mind, it's torture. It's not like I'm not reading, I'm reading. It's only that these concepts,
they're not just sticking.
Yeah, they're just not sticking. So that's what happened. I was the last one in that school when I joined. I remember feeling so bad and just feeling like I have nothing to offer in this world. I'm just here to breathe through this education system, and then we see how it goes uko mbele. So in Form 3, so after repeating that year, I went to Form 3. And for the first time in my life, I got a C. A mean grade of a C. I was like, what? What do you mean? You mean I can do well? I can do well in class. And so that was Form 3. And then after that, I went back to my D's and B pluses and E's. That was Form 3, second term. Third term, the same drill. I was a D plus student. And then came Form 4. So Form 4, I was just like, I remember just making a prayer, and I was like, God, just give me a C, and I'll be good. So I went. We did Form 4 first term, I got a D plus. Form 4 second term, I got a D, and third term it was KCSE. So I did KCSE, and this time around I'm just feeling very discouraged. And I remember I have repeated so many classes that my sibling who was behind has caught up with me, and we are now doing the KCSE the same year. And when I started school, he was 2 classes behind. So we were doing KCSE the same time, and he at least he's not so bad when it comes to academics. So I remember just praying to God and telling him, just give me a C and I'll be good. So we did exams. I remember going into those exam rooms, I was feeling blank. Like I do not know anything. Like even my head was steaming. Like nasikia, hakuna kitu najua. To the extent that when I was doing some of this chemistry in the lab, the teacher came and told me, this, whatever you've calculated is wrong. Can you change it? I couldn't even understand what they were telling me. So I just continued doing whatever it is. I finished. And then we went home. And then after that, results came. And guess what?
Before you tell us the results, I want us to take this short break, and we'll come back to know alipata nini. Sawa. So I want us to take this break, and we'll be back shortly.
Ever the best. Hallelujah.
back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah, Wachera, and my guest, Faith. And today we're speaking about the impact of low performance on students in schools, right? So remember, you can always interact with us, ask your questions through our social media platform, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719-144-144. Remember, if you need any psychological help, you can always find our psychologist through the number 0700-352-250, and they will be able to help you out. Remember, this show is proudly brought to you by Miss Ashen and Younib Organization. We are trying to ensure that you have good mental health. Your friends, your family members, everyone around you has good mental health. And that is why we are even doing this show, so that we can be able to also empower and educate you guys on matters mental health. So back to the conversation. Najua tuliwacha hanging when it comes to what did she get. So let's go back to the conversation and also to hear her story. So ulipata nini sasa?
So yeah, after the prayer I made and kidogo reading here and there, I got a C. Actually got a C. I was like, wow, kumbe I got a C. I should have asked for a better grade. Yeah, so that's how it went, like from school. Yeah, and from there I remember just thinking, I really, because when I was in school, I used to think, will I ever make it to university with these grades that I'm having? How will I go about it? It used to be something that used to bother me because my siblings were doing really well. Like my elder siblings were doing good. Like my sister used to score A's. My brother as well. I have 3 siblings. We are 4. So this do really, like, the performance are those ones that everyone in the society looks at, like, yeah, you need to be like that girl of that house. So that was my sister, my 2 other brothers. They used to do well in school. So I used to think, will I ever even get to where they are at? Will I ever go to university? So yeah, when the results came, and that time we were lucky because the previous years, maybe 5 years back, you couldn't go to university unless you had B+ and above. Yeah. So at least by the time I was finishing school, you could go to university. You start with a certificate or a diploma or whatever it is. Yeah. So that's what I did. After that, our folks asked us, what do you want to do? I was like, yeah, I want to go to Daystar and do mass media communication. So they're like, oh, you want to do that? Okay, fine. Are you sure? Does it have math? Because, math was the thing that was really going to nilemea. They're like, are you really sure? I see it needs physics and math. That one, can you think of something else? So I actually chose Daystar because it's very good in communication. So I went to Daystar to start with pre-university, because that's another way you can get to undergraduate. Yes. So I enrolled in Daystar, and I had the mother of all failures. So when I was in Daystar, I was so excited. I made it to university. Mama, I made it to uni. So I was excited. Now, because when the school system has a way of maybe just closing you in, because you're always told. I remember when growing up, I never used to go to music festivals or drama festivals because I'm told, can you concentrate on
your studies?
And you're not doing well, can you concentrate on your studies? So when I got to uni, there was this freedom of, wow, I manage my time now. I manage, you mean? So that's what I did. I started now just going to classes, and then I go to the library. I see my friend. I start talking to them. I'm like, hi, how are you? Do you remember when you were in class? So I'm starting to discover that I enjoy talking to people and whatnot. So I did that for 2 semesters, and the program was 2 semesters in Daystar. So the first semester, they have a system grading called GPA system, which is 4 points. Like when ukiwa chop kabisa, when you're really doing well, you get 4 points. 4 points. So for me, I got a 1.8 out of a possible 4.
That was journalism.
No, That is pre-university. So I did, it's more of like bridging to university.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So that's just general things. You're doing math, you're doing chemistry, you're doing English, you're doing biology, you're just bridging. So it's just the same thing in high school, but this one is in uni. I got a GPA of 1.8. And for me to get to undergraduate, you have to have a GPA of 2.0. That's half of the
4.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have to get it twice in order for you to
get
go.
in.
Yeah. So that's what happened in the first semester. Then the next semester, I was like, hey, I need to really up my game and have a nice GPA so that it can average to 2. So I went to class. Now this time I was serious, but I'm still saying hi to people. I'm discovering myself. Yeah. So I remember even at some point I almost copied exams because I was desperate to do well.
Yeah.
I had a GPA of 1.3. The end of that semester, I was like, God, Yani. I was feeling like this is now the height of failure, because how can I go to uni and this is a good uni? It's not cheap.
Yeah.
I was really discouraged, and so I went back home. So my folks are like, so sasa masomo kulemea, unataka kufanya nini? What? My folks were actually very supportive. I remember, but at some point they used to throw comments here and there. My mom was like, yani umemwaga hiyo pesa. You poured all that money, then you've come out with nothing. I was feeling so discouraged. I cried like. So they asked me, so what do you want to do? Do you want to do food, like go for catering, kitu yenye hitaji a lot of brains, Do you want to do tailoring? Something that does not need you to read a lot of things. They're like, no. I told them no. I want to go back, and this time I want to do a diploma. And like, diploma in what? Not communication, because it has math. I told them I want to do a diploma in psychology, in counseling psychology. They're like, are you really sure? Are you sure? Because, we need you to be sure. I told them, yes, I'm sure. So I went back to Daystar. I enrolled. I was accepted, actually. They are actually taking people who are doing, who got C's to diploma program. And this I hadn't been advised well, because if that was the case, then I would have gone to diploma directly. The person who told me had given me misinformation. They told me that the only way to get to university degree level, you have to go through
bridging.
Yeah, bridging. So that was an expensive mistake. Or rather, that was an expensive lesson.
Yeah.
Yes. But I would say it was good in a way that I got to learn myself. I got to know the times that I do well, like read well, because at least I had the time and I was just given, there was no structure like the way it's structured in primary and high school. So yeah, I enrolled in diploma in counseling psychology, and the end of that semester I got a 3.0. I was like, it gave me such a boost in like self-esteem. Yeah, I was like, oh, come I can do well, eh? So after that, I went on. The next semester, I got a 2.8, and I finished the program. I graduated, and gave me a boost in confidence. Because all this time along, I was just feeling like I do not amount to anything. There's nothing I have to offer.
Let's talk about, you've said your parents were supportive, right? Let's talk about the teachers in school. When you were in primary, when you were in high school, how were they treating you?
In primary school, not so much, because I guess they were just maybe thinking, okay, this one will do at their own pace. They were supportive because I had tuition all along, actually, from primary school. I had tuition, but I used to be tuitioned at home for math and Kiswahili and sciences. Yeah. So the teachers in primary school, I'd say they were supportive. They weren't, they wouldn't make me feel like I'm a failure. They were they were quite supportive in primary school. And there was just a few teachers, like for math, they would actually, there was beating, if you're not doing well, unachapwa. But at least fortunately for me, I wasn't beaten that much in primary school. I guess it's because of the setup of the school. But the experience, the bad experience came when I was in high school. So I remember I joined the school, and one of the math teachers would tell me, "Sama mimi ni ng'ombe." Ooh, I do not understand anything. Because in that class, I was the last one. I used to get like 12% in math out of a possible 100. And I remember the same teacher went ahead and caned me, this hand. It pained the whole semester, the whole term. That was like 3 months. It was so painful. And every time he'd tell me, "Sama mimi ni ng'ombe, sielewi kitu." So it was so bad. I'll just say it because if you don't say, you're caned.
You're punished.
You're punished. So in high school, the teachers were just not friendly. I would say that is bullying because, you're bullying a student who's trying. It's not, you can know someone who's putting effort when they're in class. This one is playing and this one has potential to do well, but they're playing. But you can tell when someone is struggling in the academic journey. So I'd say I experienced bullying with teachers in high school majorly. And I remember even that high school that I joined, the bottom 10s would remain in school when others go home.
For supplementary.
Yes, for supplementary, tuition. Yeah. And I wouldn't see it that like it helped me because you're given the same exams that you did, and then you just stay in that, you stay for a week and then you go home. So instead of having a month of holiday, you have 3 weeks. Yeah. But that is so bad to me because I remember when it was closing day and I was expecting to go home. I was told you're staying, and my parents had come for me to take me home. They had to go back. I told them, how can you leave me here? They're like, no, the school has said you stay. And I cried. I just remember crying all through high school. Primary, I never really cried because I think I never used to feel that pressure. But when I was in high school, there was a lot of pressure. There's a lot of comparison because you keep on comparing yourself with your
other people.
Yeah, with the people that you're sitting around, with your friends. Even in conversations, I remember I never used to contribute because I'm thinking, what do I have to say? What do I have to say? And yet I don't grasp concepts in class. So I was a quiet girl. But I was suppressing my excited child, but because of just the poor performance, I had low self-esteem. I never used to. And then, when teachers ask questions in class and someone else answers it, and I'm like, but I knew that one. But because of not performing well, that just tells you that you don't know anything, so you keep quiet.
Yeah. Plus even the teachers telling you.
Even the teachers, they keep on telling you you don't know anything. They even had systems that they wanted to grade children according to their performance. So children are taken that do not perform well are taken to another class. Okay, in a way, maybe they meant well so that they can give you like personalized tuition ama kitu kama hiyo. But then again, it also affects the self-esteem of the child who you're taking to the other class. So that was my experience. It was a lot of bullying from teachers. Yes.
So I want us to be thinking about this. Let's go back to our high school days. How was it for you when it comes to performance? I remember for us in our school, the people who did not perform well literally had to come back early. Now, we all closed the same time, but when coming back to school, you had to come earlier than the rest. So you spend 1 week before, then the rest come in after 1 week. So what was your story? How was it for you guys? If you had had low performance, what was your story? Let us know through our social media platform, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. Let's take this short break. We'll be back.
Ever the best. Hallelujah.
The story of Faith here, and it's really interesting how our school system has really ruined our self-esteem. You know, having even teachers telling you to just tell yourself how you're useless, how you may not even become something. As many times tumekuwa tukiona hadi many people wakisema, oh, my teacher aliniambia mimi sita make it, and that is why you see sometimes people when they make it, they're like, I am here. Hadi wanasikia kutumia mwalimu, manze, I made it, because ulikuwa unasema I won't amount to anything. And it's about time for us to change that perspective. So before we reach to how we can be able to change the perspective and all that, how are the students, your peers in school, treating you?
Yeah, that's a good question. The peers, actually, I've just remembered. There was one, I used to have, like, you know, the way you have desk mates.
Yeah.
So I had this desk mate who would tell me, at least you, she was I think from a poor background. She'd tell me, at least you're given basic necessities. And yeah, she's doing very well, like she's top on the class. So I'd tell her, can you show me this concept? She's like, I don't know. And when exams come, she's the second to the highest. So you know those exams that are so hard that the highest is maybe leading with 67%. She had like 60. And she was telling you she does not know the concept. Say, oh, mimi niko na 12% and I'm the last one. So for her, she used to feel like I'm better off. Because, okay, I'm not performing well, but I'm better off because your parents can support you in some basic needs here and there. So I felt that was very weird. How can you compare performance with having like basic needs? You know, this is something that can affect me.
In the long run.
Yeah, in the long run, it can affect my future, you know. But that's one of the things I found weird, that she would compare that. So with that respect, I'd find that she was not willing to help me with concepts to master in class. But then the other students, apart from that, we would interact well. Outside class, I was a social butterfly. I used to talk to everyone. I'd interact because I was in a rural school, I'd interact with people coming from this Nairobi schools and whatnot. I was a noisemaker. I'd go to a different class to make noise because these people, I was in a choppy class, you know, those classes that people are always reading.
Yeah.
Mwalimu anatoka tu hivi before English teacher ingie, mtu anasoma. I'm like, for me, I was feeling so tired, so I'd go to the next class and make noise. And you know, I wasn't going to appear in their noisemaker list because now I'm not in that
from
class.
That class. Yeah.
So outside class, I was a social person. I wouldn't say it affected me much socially, because I just wanted to interact with people, talk to people, get to know what people are doing, just share stories, yeah. But when I was in class, that's when the self-esteem would come in and creep in, and the how do I say this? What do you call it? Imposter syndrome. Like those ones of you don't know anything, even if you do know. Yeah. So that was the experience around social and my friends, and
at least it didn't affect you socially, which is quite good. I've seen people who have struggled both socially and also academically. So because people already are judging them, they assume people are judging them for low performance. So they now put themselves, they keep themselves alone. You won't find them speaking to anybody. You won't find them talking. Like they're just alone. They become loners.
Low performance can actually affect your whole. You as a person, like your whole as an individual, because now you tend to think that because I'm being measured by this, how I'm performing, then clearly I have nothing to offer to the society, and that is why you find that most of the people would get affected to that level. Yes, and at times it's because they don't have that support when they go back home, because maybe their parents are also expecting much of them, and they haven't taken anything. Because I remember when I was still in school, my folks would tell me, now, I don't want you to compare yourself with your siblings because clearly they're doing well. I just want the best. If your best is D+, bring that, we will work with that. And that did wonders.
At least you had also a good supportive system from your parents, right? So I want us to go to how can the long underperformance really affect a student in school?
There are a number of challenges when it comes to low performance, because, you know, at times when someone is performing poorly in school, the opportunities are less. When, let's say, you finish when you finish high school, then if you are this student, even if you wanted to do medicine, utaambiwa hiyo haiwezekani, hata unaanza aje, you know? So the opportunities are less. So now you start maybe bridging here and there, when they ufanye certificate, and then umalize certificate, when
get
diploma, then umalize diploma, when they undergraduate, then you go undergraduate and masters. So the options are a little limited. Though these days, with that bridging, and you would actually you can be anything. And then something else that is a factor is limited resources. Because you see, at times if you're coming from a poor background or there's limited resources, then a parent might not see the need of tuition, or a parent might not see the need of a counselor. A parent might not see the need of bridging, because now that's a lot of money. That means you're going to go into so many programs in order to reach that one goal, instead of going just to one program and getting to where you wanted to get. So limited resources is also a factor. even the social life, like social life of that individual. So when you're interacting in the society, at times you find that the society would know that huyo atafanyangi poa kwa nini, so you're sidelined by people. Unaambiwa toka hapa, wewe unajua nini? You don't know anything. So that also affects that individual in that manner. So low performance can affect someone in so many ways.
Yeah.
Yes, and they'll limit that individual. Yes, but with at least these days, unlike Kitambo, when people used to, if you did not perform well, if you got a D plus, anything as C and below, you wouldn't go to uni, and that was the end of you.
Yeah.
You would now look for manual jobs or get a shop, But at least these days, the system has changed. You can be able to bridge from whatever grade that you got.
Yeah.
So there's hope.
There's
at least
hope.
These days, yes, there's hope. There's a lot of hope. Yes.
We have been told there's hope. So I want us now to go to our parents and also to teachers. Like we saw, your teacher was really did quite a number to you when it comes to your self-esteem and also your self-confidence. So let's talk about teachers and how they can be able to improve children or students who are underperforming. How can they be able to take care of them? You are lucky enough, you had very good parents who are supportive. What about the students who don't have supportive parents? They don't have supportive peers, and also they don't have supportive teachers. What can they do?
So that's a good question. So for teachers, I would say try and understand where the child is coming from, because most of the time, children who are continuously failing, there has to be a reason behind it. Because, there are those children who are playful.
Yeah.
And then perform well this semester or this term, and then next time wataanguka because walicheza tu, hawakuwa nafanya homework, hawakuwa na submit, so it affected their grade at the end of the day. But when you find a student is continuously failing, try and understand where they're coming from. Like for me, I came to understand even after doing to the point where I failed in uni, I came to understand that it's just the reading structure. Because in school, you're taught, read this, homework, nini.
Yeah.
I found that I do well when I put music, I read, and then try and recite what I've read, and then read it again. So I'd read a concept for about a month or so continuously every day in order for it to stick. But you see now, in the way our school is structured, you don't have that time. You don't have that luxury of coming up with ways in which you can understand. I remember when I was growing up, my mom used to sing for me concepts. Like she'd sing it in a song.
Yeah.
And I would understand it and I would remember it. Even when I'm in class, I sing it and I do it, and I do very well.
Yeah.
So teachers need to understand this child who's not performing well. Is it because their home, they have issues? Because it could be their parents are going through divorce or something, so it's contributing to their school.
Yeah.
It could be that this child is bedwetting, so it affects them in school performance. It could be they don't have a good eyesight, so they cannot see things, and that's why they're failing. It could be dyslexia if you have if you're confusing letters, so it could lead to you failing. So you have to understand as a teacher, as a parent, why is this person not performing well, and you have to at least be able to, or rather be willing to engage someone who's gone to school, a psychologist, who can be able to assess this individual and know all the social, all these factors. Because you see, as a parent or as a teacher, at times you are blindsided because you're thinking, but your siblings are doing well.
Yeah.
But other children are doing well. You even have what, and you're not doing well. But you're comparing this child. I remember when after I finished uni, I came up with a proposal to go to schools, and the rule was, thou shall not compare this child to anyone, because comparison kills the morale of that student. Because if you compare this child to the next one who's doing well, and you don't know the issues that are affecting them, it could be they are just having a low self-esteem on themselves, causing maybe because of how they look or how they walk or something, so it's affecting the academic. So you have to get to the root cause of that thing that is affecting or affecting this individual. And for you to do that, you have to be willing to look for a psychologist, and there are people who actually can offer affordable services or even free services that you can be able to help your person. Yes, and that's what I have to say for that.
Yeah, I like that you've said about counseling. And remember, here at Younib TV, we're giving you the opportunity, or Younib organization, we're giving you the opportunity to be able to have this free of charge. Remember, we have very qualified psychologists here. They will be able to help you. They've been going also around schools to be able to help students in the schools, to also help them if they have family matters. They are there to just be there for these people, be there to encourage them so that they can be able to just have good mental health. Because I know nowadays mental health has been quite a problem to so many people, and not so many people also want to understand that it is an issue. It's just like looking after your own health, and that is what we are trying to we're trying to unstigmatize here at the Younib Breakfast Show, and also talk about it as Younib organization and Miss Yo Ashen. So I want you now to just speak to a student who is feeling like enyewe mi nimefika mwisho, I have tried my level best, yani kaa wewe tu alikuwa naona manze masomo sasa ni mimi na maombi, if I'm not praying then I don't know what I'll do. Who has that anxiety of now, if I fail this time, maybe what will my own parents tell me? What will my teachers tell me? How will my peers see me? So just talk to them and give them a word of encouragement.
I'd like to tell you this hope. Do not give up, because it can get really challenging. I remember there's a time for me, I used to just go through life because of going through life. Let us just do it to finish. Just do not be discouraged. Know that for everything there's a purpose as to why you're going through it. Try and find people that can help you or talk to, that you can be able to work on your maybe self-esteem, that you can be able to work on the issues. Maybe if you are a parent and you're out there, try and see how you can help your child. If it is tuition, avail that tuition for this child so that you are able to tick all these boxes that you said, okay, I've tried tuition, I've tried counseling, I've tried what. And if you're there as a parent, do not put pressure on this child. Just let them come as they are. Let them, because this is home. Let it be a non-judgmental place that this individual can be able to thrive. And yes, above all, look for help, look for support. And yes, do not give up. Do not give up on this child. Because I get so many parents who are asking me, so what do I do? Just keep on pushing. If that person is the last, wacha tu amalize form 4, amalize tu hiyo certificate, and then from there ask them, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And from there, because you see, at times we put so much stress on the academic part, but there's also talent. There's someone who's who's never gone to class for cooking, but they're brilliant.
Yeah.
Akikupikia nyama, you're like, what? What did you do? Ulienda shule, ulisomea hii kitu. So try and see also things that this individual is good at. If it's art and craft, if it's music, support them in that manner. And just know that academic is not everything. Academics is not everything. It's just one of the channels that people have trusted for a long time, but it's not everything. And let us support our mental health. Have psychosocial support for the students that are not performing well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for empowering us and also enlightening us on matters low performance. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you, maybe wants to help their own child, how can they be able to get you?
Yes. So if you want to get in touch with me, you can be able to, we have a Facebook page called For Counseling Center, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. Reach out on 0715-293-692 and we'll be able to help out. You can also go to our website. We have our website, For Counseling Center. We have forms there that you can fill in order we can get in touch and start empowering you to thrive. Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. It's been an honor having you here. It's been quite interesting. As I said, tunawapanga the entertainment. So you've seen, it's been quite good listening to your story and also trying to encourage those people who feel like education is everything. At least when people can also just make it, even though you had
Struggles.
you had struggles in school when it comes to performance. So thank you so much. Also, thank you to our camera person who has been behind the camera, Elias Muchina, who is also our director. I'm telling you, this person, anakuanga tu always ready for the Younib Breakfast show to thrive. So thank you so much for always being there and considering always being there to just help us through the Younib Breakfast show. And to you, our viewers, thank you for always sending your questions, for interacting with us. We are really, really in awe. And we ask that you may continue sharing this information, you know. If you share to one person, it will be able to help somebody. It may not be as important as it is for you, but you know, or you may know somebody who may be able to benefit from this conversation. Always share so that they can be able to get help. We are here to help each other grow and learn something new. So until next time, do have a beautiful day ahead. Goodbye.